Hi everyone, it is Anita and Dario with Passion is Cooking, here today to make ricotta gnocchi. Did I say it okay?
Ricotta gnocchi della Nonna.
Della Nonna.
Fantastic. So we are going to make this amazing dish. So as you guys mostly know, there is many different types of gnocchi. The most common is the potato gnocchi, but today we want to make something fairly light, which we call ricotta gnocchi, an old dish that my grandmother used to make actually. Fairly healthy, and I think is a perfect dish because we are getting close to spring. So we got the ingredients that we have here to make the ricotta. We have some fresh ricotta, which we dry overnight on a cheesecloth, okay, or paper towel, because we want to make sure we remove all the whey from the ricotta. Okay? So we have a ricotta over here. We're gonna add some flour, okay, all-purpose flour. We have approximately a cup over here. And don't be afraid, we're gonna put all the ingredients right there. Now, here's the twist over here. We're gonna put the rind of the orange, of a lemon, sorry. Yeah, that's right.
It's okay, I'll watch over you here.
Thank you very much. We're gonna add a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano, okay? So grated Parmigiano Reggiano, we're gonna put just a little bit.
And don't forget the actual ingredients to this recipe in detail are at our website, passioniscooking.com.
That's right.
So you can get the actual details of how to make it after seeing what we've done here.
Exactly. So some fresh black pepper, some salt, very little amount of salt. We add the Parmigiano, so we want to be very careful. So we have one full egg, just like that. Look at that. Perfect. This, when I was a child, was my favorite thing to do. You know, a lot of people like to play with patty. I like to play with dough, okay? So here we go. So we want to make sure that we combine all the ingredients fairly slowly, okay? Can you see it? Look at that. So I'm gonna transfer now to a bowl.
Okay. To the cutting board?
To the cutting board, sorry, yeah.
So I noticed there's a little bit of flour in there. I guess you get to that right consistency and then
that's it. So you want to make sure that it just comes together. Can you see it? Feel it, just. But you do not want to break the ricotta out. Okay, we don't want to destroy the beautiful thing of the ricotta. So here we go. Beautiful gnocchi. So with a knife, I'm just gonna cut 4 little pieces like that. Can you see them?
I'm gonna move this spoon.
Perfect. And look at that. See, it's very pliable, almost like patty, but just a little more light.
It's like almost like silly putty?
Almost like silly patty. That's it. So here we go. We make these gnocchetti.
Can you imagine making this with your kids at home?
Well, that's the fun. That's the fun part.
They'd be wanting to play with it, and can you overwork it?
You could overwork it. Yeah. What you overwork, you actually overwork the flour. Right? So you overwork the flour, it could be a little bit dense. Okay. But that's a good thing about it. So we're gonna make little sausages, just like that. Okay? And we call it gnocchetti because we're gonna actually make little gnocchi. We are gonna put in a baking sheet right now, and then we are going to boil them. Okay. Of course.
I wasn't sure if you were doing a different technique than we've done before.
No, we could, but you know what? We could actually bake them, okay, if you want it. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna prepare them first. There we go. You can go a little faster. But we don't want to cut the finger, right? We want to make sure that the kids are not gonna... Actually, it's not true. The kids can actually get involved.
You know what I used to have with the kids was that that knife that didn't cut them.
Spatula. Yeah, it's a little offset spatula.
No, it was actually, well, I don't know if it was actually sold at one of the kids stores or Toys R Us or something. Yeah. You get them in the kitchen, cooking. It was sort of serrated, small, and they wouldn't cut themselves with it, but they could still help out.
And that is exactly it. As you see,
some things you might not be able to cut through with it, but I mean, that's a neat thing to get the kids sort of into helping out. And
so with this one works perfectly.
Maybe I could use that. Cause...
No, you're very good at cutting. I don't think you need that. We are going to pair this one with a simple sauce, and what you're going to notice there is hardly going to be any tomato or cream. There maybe. You know, our viewers are used to it. This is going to be a sauce that is made from the base of mussel, shrimps, a little bit of butter, a touch of olive oil, great olive oil. We got great supply of olive oil.
Yeah,
for this
Berry
stuff.
Olive Oil has supplied some olive oil for us.
Berry Olive Oil is one of our suppliers here in our beautiful town of Berry, and she's been really wonderful, and we would like to promote some of her oil because it's spectacular, spectacular oil. But the perfection of this dish is the sauce is really focused on the ingredients, not necessarily on tomato or anything else. So we're gonna let them rest. If you want, at this point in time, you could put them in the freezer if you don't want them right away. Let's say if you're making a big batch, you can put them in the freezer. Make sure they're nice and frozen before you actually use them, and then you can process them. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna get into the sauce. Andiamo. Okay, so the ricotta gnocchi are made, and now we're gonna make our sauce. Okay, so we got a pot of boiling water. We haven't seasoned it yet, because we are not going to season just before we're going to put the gnocchi in. Using a beautiful Berry extra virgin olive oil, just a small amount. We're going to let it come to heat, and then we're going to start slowly with the ingredients. So the seafood we're going to use today is shrimps, mussel, which we opened with just a little bit of white wine and some garlic, okay? And we deshelled them, and we kept all the liquid from the mussel there open. Shallots, we're going to start. We're gonna have some fresh peas, some fresh tomato, a little bit of butter, some white wine, and we're gonna process it. Very, very simple. The most incredible thing about this, we're gonna find out that the actual sauce is created by the seafood being cooked in the cooking water. This is quite impressive, okay? And we're gonna finish at the end of it with some fresh mint, some fresh basil, and some Parmigiano Reggiano. So we got our pan getting hot over here. I'm gonna add half of the shallots. So here what we're gonna do with that. So you see, so we're gonna lower the heat. We're gonna add the shrimp, okay? Deshell them properly. That's an important part about this one, because the problem many times when you go somewhere is when the shrimps are overcooked. And I always say, you want the freshness of the shrimp, so I'm gonna cook them until they just barely change their color, okay? But also what I'm doing right now, I'm creating the foundation for my sauce, okay? Shrimps need to be cooked for 2 to 3 minutes, not longer than that. I'm gonna add 2 cubes of butter, okay? And we're just gonna let them melt, and we're gonna create some sweetness to the mushroom. So I'm gonna remove the shrimps and set them aside, because again, we said we don't want to overcook them, and we're gonna finish them again when we put the gnocchi in it. I'm gonna add a little bit of white wine. I'm gonna add now the mussel and all the liquid of the mussel, just right in it. See what happened here? We are start creating a sauce here. Slowly. Perfect. So look what I'm doing. I'm gonna turn the heat almost right off. Okay, I'm gonna add fresh peas. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of the fresh tomato, but I have no heat on it. Okay, I don't want to wilt them too much. And now I'm gonna add the fresh prawns again, or shrimps. I'm gonna add a little bit of the water, and I'm gonna keep them on the side. Right now I have the water boiling nicely. What I'm using here, I'm using kosher salt. Water's coming to boil, nice and powerfully. I'm gonna put my gnocchetti in there. This is very important. We're gonna quickly stir them for 2 seconds, and then we just leave them alone. We are looking for the gnocchi to come to surface. As soon as the gnocchi will come to surface, is because they're cooked. Remember, it's just cheese and flour here, so we really don't want to overcook them too much. As soon as the gnocchi come to surface, we're gonna let it boil for another 2 or 3 seconds. The saltiness of the mussel that we cooked just give perfectly seasoning. So, and we literally put a small amount of salt in it because I don't wanna over season. And we're still gonna add a little bit of Parmigiano in it, just at the end of it. Look at the gnocchi coming to surface, isn't it beautiful? We're gonna give them another couple of seconds on it. Beautiful. We're gonna shut them off, and now we're gonna lift them. Look at these beautiful little jewels. Voila. Perfect. This has become a big part of your sauce. The cooking water, all the starches of the potato, all the cheese, all the flavoring of our gnocchi, it will become the sauce. Look at that. So we're gonna add a drizzle of fresh olive oil. Make sure right now we have no heat on it. And we're gonna go to the plate.
And with the gnocchi that we made earlier on, we're coming up with ginger pairing time juicing that we're gonna be pairing with the gnocchi.
Absolutely.
So I think a lot with the shrimp and the mussels that we put in it, with the gnocchi and the flavor, it was the best to have the ginger and the pear for a little bit of the sweetness to put together.
Yes.
So today we're going to be using the NutriBullet. We're just going to make it quickly here, and how you combined. Again, it's different than the Vitamixer. You put it oppositely. You put your harder things here, your leafy type vegetables, your boosters, and then you fill it to the line with water or milk or coconut water, which we're going to be using this time. So in this recipe, we've got frozen berries that we're going to be putting into the actual unit. So that will give you a little bit of that that coolness that you like, right? Then we're going to be able to put some pear in it. We've got a little bit of the lime. Ginger. We have some ginger that goes in, and then we have parsley, because parsley is so nutritious. I remember when my mom used to juice, it was always parsley, because it's one of the, they don't really call it a superfood, but I know it's very, very healthy and everything that it has in it.
It's got a lot of the chlorophyll in it, which is really, really important for you. The greens or the parsley is very good for you. And this is one of your staples. I mean, you can't be without it.
I love it.
Okay.
I love cooking with cilantro, which is always a must.
In our house, we always
parsley.
have cilantro, that's for sure.
And then we're gonna add some coconut water to it. Lid on, and then into the NutriBullet to get your juice to pair up with the gnocchi.
That's fantastic. Nice and healthy and fresh. It's got a lot of the zinc from the ginger and the fresh parsley. That's beautiful. You see, we got still a little bit of the juiciness. Okay, look. Can you smell it? Look at smell. Smell-o-vision. Okay. So now we're gonna add basil. Remember that lemon that we put into the dough? We're gonna squeeze a little bit of lemon juice in it, just a small amount. Okay? And Parmigiano Reggiano. And people say, oh my God, you put cheese in fish. Yes, I am. Okay? What it does, we use the ricotta into the gnocchi. Why should we use the Parmigiano?
True.
Does it make sense? Right.
I love cheese for everything, so.
Yeah.
I would never question that.
So now we're gonna plate them very, very gently. Nice, fresh.
You can tell he loves what he does.
I love it. How can you not love what you're doing? This one doesn't need nothing. You know the most beautiful thing about this one also? He presents himself. Doesn't it? Mm-hmm. You know, the beauty of this dish. If you would want, you can put some beautiful fresh leaf of basil, and we're eating it. Wow, you're gonna eat it. You know, always feed the person beside you. That's a rule number one. So look at that.
Well, that's what we do.
So look at this. Nice and creamy.
Oh, it's very good.
Isn't it good? Can I feed you?
Yes, please.
Alrighty. So I know, because Anita is very picky. She likes to have a little bit of everything. Okay? So I got some.
It takes me a while to eat my meals.
That's
doesn't
okay.
it? I want to do the combination
That's
of all
right.
the different things.
Buon appetito. Isn't it good?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you taste?
The shrimp, the mussels. I don't taste the gnocchi as much though.
You don't taste the gnocchi as much? Yes.
Now I do.
Sorry, I'm gonna add some more. This is very good. What do you think?
It's delicious.
Well,
So for the recipes
yes.
at www.passioniscooking.com, you can get them all there. And also for this recipe, it's in Harrowsmith, right?
That's right.
So Harrowsmith, which is a Canadian magazine. Go take a look over there as well.
This is a beautiful dish for the spring, as soon as the fresh produce comes in, even in the summer. But it is no season for wonderful food. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Dario and Anita. Passionist Cooking signing off. Ciao,
Ciao, ciao.
for now.